the Women Unleashed podcast. Join us as we share with you the fun, confronting, wild, fucked up, epic, and raw side of being a woman in today's world. Nothing is off limits. Allow yourself to be inspired to be unleashed.
We acknowledge that we are recording our podcast on the traditional country of the Turrbal and Yagara people and pay respect to their elders past and present. We acknowledge and respect their continuing culture and contribution they make to this community.
Welcome to the Women Unleashed podcast. We are going to talk all about eating habits today.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun one. I've had a bit of experience. Taylor's going through some things with her pregnancy.
Yep.
That will alter probably her eating habits and what that all is about. So,
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Let's dive into it. I guess I'm intimately familiar with eating, having a history of bulimia. And eating for me was a way to deal with my emotions because I didn't know how to talk about them, was uncomfortable being with them. And so it didn't matter whether I was like happy or sad, like any intense emotion, I would just want to eat to bring me back down to this like,
Yeah.
like the only state I was, I think, comfortable in was like numb state. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So what did it look like? Getting sad or thinking about something, catastrophizing, and then eating food to comfort eating. And what that can look like is feeling like you should justify why you're eating to somebody else, or covering it up. So, you know, I could like be with a group of people and want to walk home by myself so that I could detour past a certain eating spot to, you know, eat more food on the way home. It would, probably look like doing a lot of things on my own, like getting to and from places on my own, so that I could eat in the car. Eating in the car is another thing. If you find yourself eating and doing something else, you're generally not present, which is when you shouldn't be eating.
It's like mindless eating. Like, I do watch TV and eat, which is not good because you actually don't know when you're full.
Correct.
You're not consciously eating.
Because, your brain's not focusing on the food.
Same with being bored. I used to eat a lot. Well, I don't even know.
Bored is a racket.
Yeah. Yeah, but I like, you know, if I don't know if I'm like, might just pick on something. Like, I'm not really hungry. It's just, you're just eating.
Filling the space. Harley, the cat, is chewing the new tall boy. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
For the baby. And we're not really impressed about it.
No.
So
she's not even here to use it yet.
Yeah. And now Harley's run out the room. So there you go.
Yeah. So mindful eating can be really important.
Yeah. Mindful, being present, all the same thing. Like, actually don't even browse your phone when you're eating. Just be with the food. Taste the food. Smell the food. Get the texture of the food before you, like, mince it up. All of those things can assist you to be really, really present and get the nutrition out of your food. Another thing, let's talk about more habits. What other habits?
Well, I mean, I used to calorie count.
Oh, right? Yeah.
With when I pre-pregnancy, I was calorie counting and like with a coach online.
Oh, yeah.
Which can be a really good way to actually find out what you're eating. Like, it can be really
gross consumption.
Yeah, like you don't really realize sometimes how much carbs or like calories are in certain foods until you start tracking.
Like avocados are healthy, but they're so fatty. Not saying fats are bad,
No.
but there's a lot of fat, and high fat fat has a lot of calories in it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you're on the calorie counting thing, it's really interesting. Same with like, people think, oh, I'll have a coffee, a cappuccino in the morning or a latte, but that has calories.
The milk has calories.
The milk and and then you're eating really 2 meals then, right? Because you've got your coffee and then you've got the breakfast. So that can be a really good way to just get a maybe you don't do it forever, but it's even if you did it for like a month, just to get a picture of, hey, this is like on this plate, this is what this looks like, so you can like adjust it and go, okay, maybe I need to just like rather
have half
than
of that.
it's just that was really good to know.
Yeah, get a small instead of an extra large. Like, yeah, totally. And one thing I wanted to mention about the milks is that all of the alternative milks, to mimic and get the frothiness of a regular milk, they put like additives in them to like thicken them up, and then they're not as low calorie as you think they are. Like almond milk, and a pure like organic unsweetened almond milk isn't very high in calories. But the Milk Lab, I love it in my coffee, but it's high calorie.
Yeah. So that can I'm not saying that that's the way you need to eat, but it can just give you an insight into what your plate can look like.
Correct.
So that was good. And then I guess like my partner Will, he started fasting. He's been doing a lot of research on fasting. He's lost I think he's lost nearly 12 kilos.
Wow.
Yeah, he looks amazing. Feels amazing.
He feels amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm talking about how he feels, not how he feels.
But really, come on, let's be straight.
It's very beneficial for me too.
Good for you.
But he does fasting, which he's gone to 1 meal a day. And he feels the best he's ever felt. He says his mind's clearer. He has more energy. He's exercising more. Like, it's a completely new world for him. And the research he's done has shown that it is very beneficial to curing illnesses and things like that. Again, I'm not a dietitian. This is just his research, right?
Yeah,
and he's done it all through YouTube with Dr. Berg is the guy he's been listening to.
What's his last name? What's Will's last name?
Burke.
Burke and Berg. Nice.
So yeah, he's been wonders with that. And eating keto organic.
Okay, and does he eat just one dinner, or when does he eat this one meal?
Generally, he eats dinner. One, and he'll have like a plate of veggies, and then the rest of it's just whatever the other part of the dish is.
Yep.
But lots and lots of veggies, all organic. He's even researched what organic means, because if it says organic but not certified organic, it's not really organic.
Yeah.
So there's a difference.
Yep.
So yeah, he's just found it it's been life changing. I noticed he gets up earlier. He sleeps better. He's more like he'll just be here. And he's like, I need to go for a walk. I have too much energy. Like it's awesome. It's so
crazy.
good to see. So obviously being pregnant, I can't really fast, but when I am able to, I'm looking at doing it myself.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's to start with, he didn't start with 1 meal a day. He just shortened his eating window.
Yeah.
So he might have done from like 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Rather than, and then he's just shortened it over time. He's done, I think, a 72-hour fast recently.
Crazy. I definitely think I'd benefit from like a 12 p.m. to 6 p.m.
food
window. I love breakfast, but if it's the one I skip, it's the easiest one to skip.
Yeah, me too. Dinner's I love to eat a lot at dinner.
Yeah. I love to have like snacks, like an ice cream or chocolate after dinner.
Dessert.
Yeah.
Me too. So yeah, he's it's been really cool to see actually. So and doing the fasting and stuff it helps with inflammation, so it reduces your inflammation. And he hurt his knee a few years ago. It's his meniscus.
Oh yeah.
So quite good injury. And he said since fasting he hasn't had any knee like the pain just doesn't come.
Amazing. Oh, good for him.
And that's his experience. And again, I'm not trying to we're not doctors but it's worked for him. Doctors. And if you wanted to research it yourself, Dr. Berg on YouTube.
Cool.
Being very helpful.
Sweet as. Great recommendation.
Thanks.
Awesome. What else?
I guess you could talk, like, exercise can go hand in hand with eating.
Yeah,
good too.
let's talk about some of the things that people say, and like, oh, but I'm a snacker, or like, I need to eat frequently, or like, let's sort of debunk some of that stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Like, oh, I'm a grazer. No, you're not a horse? No.
Yeah.
So if somebody says to me like, oh, like I need to eat at a particular time, or I have to eat frequently, or all it is your psychology, your brain patterns. Like your brain releases dopamine when it does something, when it tastes something tasty. You know, so it's going to be
that high.
wired to go looking after that.
Yeah, and the more you eat, the more you want to eat. So, like, you know, like you've created that habit, and that your body like craves the food. So you know, it's like if you can create it to happen, you can create it a different way.
You can create a different habit. Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And that's what it took me to break through bulimia, was getting that I just had all these really unfunctioning habits, and understanding how a habit works, you could then replace the bits that you wanted to of the habit loop to have different outcomes in your life. I feel like I should read that book again. I can't remember. It's not Atomic Habits, but it's something.
The Power of Habit?
I think it's The Power of Habit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good book.
Yeah, it's a really great book. Really, really great book. So yeah, it just comes down to your brain patterns. That's all we are. We're just human beings are a bunch of brain patterns, and like wiring yourself to fast. Like you got to give your word to not eating between particular times, and it'll be uncomfortable sometimes.
Now that his body's used to it, he doesn't really crave. He's fine not eating. He still drinks water. He'll have a black coffee and tea and herbal tea.
Does he drink alcohol?
No. He stopped drinking alcohol too. He doesn't really want to drink alcohol.
Yeah,
because he feels so great. He doesn't want to like screw with it.
Yeah.
And I'm not drinking, so it's not like I'm there to bring him down.
Yeah.
So.
One of the things with sugar that I noticed, because I used to be like, I used to be for myself that I was a savory person, and then I became a sweet person. And
yeah, me too.
I observed the kids one day, like they just ate some chocolate and then they stopped and then they put it away. And I was like, this is weird. Like, don't kids just eat and binge? Oh, no, that's just me. Oh, okay. So, like, kids are like, they also can't detect sugar. So that's why kids, like, can eat a lot of sugar and not even know that they're going to have a high from it.
Oh, okay. I didn't
but
know that.
Kids are, like, they're all regulated properly when they come out, right? So if they haven't been interfered with, they just will be like, oh, I'm good. Had that's enough sugar for me. Like, I'm good.
Wow.
So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So there you go. But yeah, sugar's one of those things people can easily get addicted to.
Well, yeah, it is addicting.
But yeah, you can always change your habits. Things you want to look out for are like also eating when you're on the run somewhere, like walking to something. Like, why do I really need to be eating whilst I'm walking somewhere to go get somewhere? Because again, like your brain's trying to walk. And with electric scooters and things these days, it's actually more of a dangerous activity than it ever used to be. But yeah, do I really need to do that? Do I need to eat while I'm shopping? Do I need to eat while I'm on the phone to someone? Do I need to be thinking about eating whilst I'm on the phone to someone? Like catching all of those kinds of things. Are you, I don't know, like trying to hide food in some way, or like I said, justifying it? You don't need to justify anything, really.
No. And yeah, there was something. Listen, you actually sent it to me as a podcast about the school one.
School of Greatness.
Yeah, the lady. She was talking about how like our brain is it like looks for the easy choices, right? Yeah, easy stuff because it uses less brain power to go for the easy stuff and the quick satisfaction.
Yeah.
And that's the same with like going for that sweet treat that maybe you don't need. It's like you just want that instant gratification, that instant. And kind of not listening to that like part of your brain, like just kind of, which is what you're saying. But your brain, unfortunately, is kind of going against you in some ways because it just wants that instant fix.
Yeah, well, it's like, no, this is the shortcut. Like, this is the quick fix. This is easy. Like, but it can't detect, your brain can't, like, detect. I don't think your brain can detect. In my experience, your brain cannot detect, like, whether two different foods are going to be, like, healthy or not healthy for you when it comes to like the wiring of efficiencies. And it's actually, it sounds weird, but you got to listen to your body. I don't know what it is that you're like listening to, but like, yeah. I don't know, this sounds weird, but I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think
sorry, I'll if you don't mind, the reason I had that thought is because I had the experience once when I was binging that like my brain couldn't detect, actually no, it was like my brain kind of couldn't detect what was real and what was imaginary. So like that I was shoving food in my face, throwing it up and then shoving more food in my face. Like my brain didn't know, like there was some form of I knew that was happening physically, but my brain didn't actually know whether it was physically happening or I'm imagining it. Because it was like, well, if you were physically doing it, like why are you still doing it? Because it's bad for you. Like, so, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Interesting.
Is there anything else you wanna?
There was, and I feel like I have forgotten it. Probably should have made some better notes. So we're coming into the festive season. We'll probably upload this episode sometime in December, I think. And this is another reason justifying why you eat is like because somebody else like made you the food, or they made it and it was there, or you were there and the food was there. Like, you don't have to eat just because food's there. I definitely still do that one.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, I don't have any allergies anymore. I can eat everything.
Yeah.
So then all that comes back to is like that personal responsibility for, do you want to be healthy? Like what you put in your body is what you get out of it.
Yeah. And moderation. It's all in moderation.
Yeah. And food is definitely one of the ways that you can self-care.
Yeah.
Not self-soothe.
Well, it just changes how you feel. Like I know when I'm being pregnant's been a completely different food experience, but pre-pregnancy when I'm doing, things that I know is good for my body, I can feel like you feel the difference. You have more energy, you sleep better. You're clearer in your mind. It's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome.
Cool.
All right, so that's a wrap.
All right, well, thank you everyone for listening, and have fun sharing what you've gotten for yourself out of listening to this episode. Our goal is for our podcast to reach as many people as possible and become the #1 women empowerment podcast in Australia. So our call to action is for you to contribute to your fellow women about maybe some of your eating habits or things that maybe you want to change or fix. And talk to other people about it and share what you're getting out of looking at what you're eating. And make sure to leave a review, follow us on social media, and we'll see you next time.
Ciao.
Bye.